I don't know what happened. I didn't even get a 5. It was a 3. Then a 2, then a 1. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Who's your friend?
My nickname is Bones. I've been doing the Slim Fast plan.
I was going to say you're
Only
doing very well.
I lost too much weight in too short a time, and now I look like this. So
What are you like?
You look like Skeletor.
yes, He-Man. You
That
don't
comes
have
out
the
this
power.
weekend. What are you? What are you like? Well, guys, tonight it is Thursday night. It's a good feeling, and we are talking about rain. Noreen, baby, always knew you were going to be first in the old line to come and see us. Love.
Wait,
Tonight,
it's
guys,
not
we
Tom
are
Cruise
doing.
Day? Oh, man.
Wait. I'll tell you what, Michael. Me and you will do the old Tom Cruise. At some point.
Hey, I was all geared up for it. I was in the chat asking for the link on
My
Tom
funny.
Cruise Day.
I
Somebody had to tell me it was bombed.
Well, I tell you what, I'll make it up to you. You and me can do it if you want on Saturday. If you're free Saturday.
I have to look because I got a lot of things coming up. Saturday, it would have to be late because I have conference tech duties to do in the morning.
Well, what about Sunday?
Sunday I'm pretty open.
Right. Well, I can't do 9 o'clock because I'm doing modding from 9 to 10:30. So it would need to be probably before that, probably about 7, maybe.
Whose 7 are we talking about?
My 7.
Because that makes a little difference. So
Yeah, I know. Listen, my head was up my arse today, so I couldn't think me. Babe, can I have the charger, please? Because I'm nearly dying.
Yeah, that's 1 o'clock my time. That should be doable. I should be awake.
I'm asking for the bloody charger, and he's got his headphones in.
Well, fancy coming on live with hardly any battery in your phone.
Somebody thought that out really well.
Mr. Spookinori, don't you judge me. You remember who you're going to Rendlesham with. I'll be in that forest chasing you around about it.
Hey, I've been
Just
to the
remember,
campsite there today, Lo.
I know that forest like the back of my hands. You finding me in that forest, and yeah, right, okay.
It's all right. I'll spear you.
Lois, I've been to that campsite today. I've been to see where we're going to be camping. Yeah.
What's it like?
Yeah.
I had the joy of being on the other side of the ocean, so she ain't gonna come and get me.
Oh, don't you bet on it, Michael.
You all make me out.
Lois has ways. You're going to get up one morning, you're going to go, I'm just going to go for a nice little walk. You're going to open your door and you're going to walk out there and she's going to be standing right on the end of your stoop.
Wayne, that's only you, sweetheart. I would do that too.
Hey, Things Netherlands is in the house.
Hey, Mary, how you doing? So, talking about Rendlesham, right, I know, Wayne, you've been a million times, and I know, Lynn, you're there today. Who wants to start by telling me some experiences?
Well, seeing as how I'm in the USA, let me just lay them all out there for you.
Lynn's frozen anyway, so Ben, you might as well go.
Oh, well, I was going to leave mine to the end because I think mine's pretty controversial and pretty sort of wow.
Well, as you see, our Lynn is looking like she needs an exorcist. Exorcism.
Yeah,
You
well.
leave me alone.
Anyway.
I don't know. All I see is moving through this nice grassy field with these little lightning bugs, I'm guessing.
Do you know, I am looking forward to going. Don't get me wrong, I'm nervous about the travelling because obviously I've never travelled on my own, but I am so looking forward to the experience because it's something different and it's something I've never did before, is UFO hunt. So I am really looking forward to doing it. I am, but it's not just doing the hunting itself. I'm more looking forward to spending time with you guys, meeting you guys. And see, even though I've spoke to you over the internet and on the phone and everything, I'm still pretty nervous.
No need to be.
Yeah,
the thing is,
and I don't know why.
It's like going to a paranormal event. You know, you go there, you pay for your ticket, you go there, not in the fact that you don't know anybody that's going to be there apart from the people you deal with to get the ticket. But you're going to get there and you're going to walk in the room. There's going to be 20 odd other people there. But the one thing that will make that night completely different to most nights is the fact that everybody is there for the same reason. You've all got a mutual love of the paranormal, and that links you all together straight away the second you walk into the room. And you'll find that in a situation like that, you'll make friends. And because you already know us, when we all meet up, it's going to be, I don't know, it's like going on an annual holiday with people that you go on an annual holiday with every year. You know, it's going to be, oh, hello, it's nice to see you and all this, and it'll be all hugs and then go off gallivanting off into the woods. But we're all going to be going as friends. It will just be the first time that we've all physically met up.
Uh-huh.
You know, Wayne, the way you describe that, it's like every horror movie I've ever seen. Everybody just gathers up.
That'll be the author in me, Michael. I'm sorry.
Do you know? I'll be like, I'll be able to go up and shout, "You big English baldy bastard!" But I'll wait till the second time that I've met Wayne. I don't want to get over the first time.
I'm not bald though. You can't say it.
Well, you're not bald, but you're shooting head. That's good, Mary. I hope you and Shane are well, my love. I hope you and Shane are well. Now, what I was saying to Wayne was, you froze at that point, was about talking about your experiences. Wayne said he didn't want to go first because he wanted to go last. So he obviously made you tick it, but the fact that you froze up. Yeah. So tell us about your day at Rendlesham.
Wow. First of all, I'm staying in Lowestoft. I'm staying at a mutual friend with mine and Tim's, and we're staying at their place here. Lovely, lovely people. And so we went off today up to Rendlesham. Lovely drive, but when you start going into towards Rendlesham, I don't know whether we took the wrong turn. I don't know. But it's very, very small country lanes. Is that right, Wayne?
Yeah.
Lots of pigs in fields.
Yeah.
And we get there.
Yay.
We get there. There was two guys in by the East Gate.
Yep.
Well, up that end, a bit further up by that top car park. Workmen, that was it. So we parked up and we walked along the trail with Tim. He's knackered tonight. Walked along the trail. Now, it was daytime. There was nobody in sight. I seen one guy jogging later on, an hour or so in, but he was youngish and he was on the other side. I did hear children's voices, and it threw me. I also heard a guy later on in the woods, but you can't say paranormal because there could be people there. It's in
Jason.
the day, but I did hear
You're here, my love.
children. I'd say a couple of children, it wasn't very long, a couple of seconds, but they were talking. Stopped. I found there was energy lines in certain parts of that. I found it to be completely different in the night. It's going to be black. It's quite nerving, I think. But we walked the whole lot. We went further because then over to the campsite. We went all around the other place, come back on ourselves, and I think we went to see that UFO they built.
Mm-hmm.
The lemon squeezer, I
For
call
the
it.
to go and stand and have your photograph took.
Yeah.
Oh,
When you're breaking up, my love.
Further on
there's a
from
children's
that,
part
I found it a bit. There was an atmosphere, energies were coming in this certain place. Went over by this fence. Shit myself because
when
this pig started screaming at me. I jumped in.
when
When we
your
went
reception's
to
no
the
great.
campsite gate area. Let me try
Keep
this.
breaking in and out.
I'll try my phone.
Right.
are you using their Wi-Fi?
No. Am I using Wi-Fi? Let me have a look at this. I'll try it on here. I'll try and get in here.
There's a play park there, Wayne. Yeah.
Did what?
Fox. The zip line with the fox zip line. We need to go. We need to go to the children's park so we can do the zip line. I just had a look. I was like, come on, I want to feel 16 again. Even though 30.
I do that every day.
Well, I'm
Not
16
the
here.
zip line, but I feel 16 every day. 'Cause
Thank you,
obviously
Jason.
my little horrors.
Oh, love. They still keep me young.
It's waiting for permissions.
Don't look at me. I don't want to be 16 again. I survived it once, and that's all I need to say about that.
I wouldn't mind being 16 again. I can avoid a mistake I made the first time round.
Mr. Wayne, I know what that was.
What would that be?
It's over
That would
way.
be your wife.
Well, that my ex-wife, yes, that would be one. But the first one would have been going into the right trade when I joined the Royal Air Force. I wouldn't have been made redundant had I have done that. And then I wouldn't have met my ex-wife. So it would have had a knock-on effect.
See, I was that close. I was close. Just a bit. The good thing about Rendlesham as well, guys, is it's different because of the UFO spot. It has there. Oh, there's Lynn joining us again. Right, I need to take out the other one.
Tim.
Right. But what one am I taking out? Because both were moving at the same time. Shit.
Right, can you hear me?
A lot better.
A lot better, aye. So,
What?
obviously, so you're under me. You're under me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're a lot better. Picture's a lot better and everything.
Right, that's brilliant. It's on my phone, this. Right. So where did you hear up to?
Something about a pig.
Aye, something about a pig. And then
Oh, yeah. This pig started screaming. I shit myself, jumped about 2 foot off the floor because I couldn't see it. But it was there behind a fence. So we walked all the way around the perimeter. We went to the campsite that we're going to be staying at, met the guy who runs it. We walked back. We went up to the east gate. And then I walked with Tim down the side of that fencing to where those silos were in the field. Massive. Took some pictures. And then walked back. But there was a good atmosphere there. I felt quite a few energies there, but there's a lot, it's like Tim said to me, there's lots of quartz, but there's not quartz everywhere. There's only in certain places. You know, raw quartz on the floor. There's lots of that. So I don't know whether that's dragging energies, and I don't know. But I tell you what, it's going to be really creepy there at night time because it's going to be jet black.
I love
Jet
that.
black.
I
And the
absolutely
place is
love that.
massive, isn't it? The forest is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
a big
I've been
place.
now, I've seen it, and now I know.
Yes. So we're all going to be meeting up at the East Gate because that's the main part of the trail that goes down to where Ledge site was. Did you actually get to see where the official landing site was in the field? Because where the black lemon squeezer is, that's not the actual site it landed.
Dun, dun, dun.
I knew it was there. Yeah, I did know it. I could feel it for starters.
The original
No,
site.
that's not the. It's where the pigs were. It's where them pigs were. They've got these pigs in this field.
Right. So
where that monument is, or the lemon squeezer. So as you walk into that, you walk back out.
You've gone quiet again, Lynn.
I walked all over the rails, the whole lot, but it wasn't where that lemon squeezer was. I'd say it was in the fields, far over on the left from that in the fields, but they've got pigs in there now.
Yeah. So where the lemon squeezer is, that is where Jim Penniston had seen the object in the trees. So that was the first official sighting, but the first official landing was a couple of days later in that field.
That cut out. There's definitely not a good connection here. That cut out then, so I couldn't hear you. I don't think you can hear me.
We can hear you.
They are.
But it comes and goes.
Yeah, yeah.
So when you come out of that bit, because there is an actual path that takes you into where the lemon squeezer is, but you can actually go on an unofficial path which takes you back to the main footpath.
Yeah.
So when you get back to the path through the undergrowth, if you turn left and go down to the bottom, that's where the field is, but that's where the official landing was, where the station commander actually went out and spoke to the occupants of the UFO. It was in that field. So that's the official landing site. But when they went to the monument, they could not put the monument in the middle of a farmer's field, so they put it where the first sighting was. So although it's not the first, it didn't officially land in that place where the lemon squeezer is now. That was where
there
it
was
was
energies.
spotted.
Not saying they were them energies. Yeah, I'm not saying they were them energies I was picking up on, but I was picking up on energies there. I even seen in the peripheral vision a man, and I turned and looked again, and the spaded out, and he was quite a big man actually, in beige. He was a human, wasn't alien or anything. So I did pick up on a spirit person in there, which was very interesting. I didn't expect that. I really didn't expect that.
That whole area dates back thousands of years.
Right, okay.
So in that area, that particular area was known for, that was where a lot of the outcasts from Sutton Hoo ended up.
Right.
Sutton Hoo is just down the road from there, where they found the burial mound.
Yes.
The world famous burial mound.
Yeah, I was talking about that today. It's amazing.
And so a lot of the outcasts ended up in Rendlesham Forest.
Right.
And there was a lot of witchcraft went on in that area.
Yeah.
And every now and then you will find little places where that still happens.
Mm-hmm.
But it's quite a way off the beaten track, and you have to know what you're looking for to find it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I 100% agree with you. The second you get there, you can feel the energy.
Yeah, it was busting. It was busting.
Yeah,
it really was. And I think also I did notice there was a couple of, well, maybe a dozen trees at one point on a long walk, an open walk, from the start of that walk right the way down. I found quite a few trees there with black markings, like burning on them, but they had white stuff on it as well. And another one had been taken out because there was remains of it. You know, the bark on the floor, like black with this white stuff on. I didn't touch it, didn't want to touch it. I didn't have a counter with me or anything to see about any energies. I just went in there with Tim. But that interested me. Why were they black? Did they have a disease? They weren't marked up to be taken out. Because if there's anything that's going to be marked up, if it's got diseases, they normally mark them with orange to put them down.
Yeah.
But there's none of that. But I did find them, and that I thought that was old burns. So I don't know whether there's been a thunderstorm, whether they've been burnt like that, or they've been left. But how old are them trees?
They're not that old because the Forestry Commission now manage the site.
Right.
So you would have noticed while you were walking around Rendlesham that there are very large patches where there are no trees growing.
Yes. Is that what they're talking
and
about?
that's where they're practicing coppicing. So the Forestry Commission comes in, they down certain areas of trees, and then they replant new ones or allow them to grow back.
Yeah.
And then they give it a little while, and then they do another area.
Yeah.
And so that way, Rendlesham Forest is providing a constant source of timber to the trade, as well as managing the woodland. So they've actually put it in a manageable system. And also, if you'd have noticed that when you walked from the east gate to the car park, or vice versa, you'd have noticed that the trees to the left as you were heading down to the gate, they were all in nice, neat rows.
Yeah, they are. And you can see,
Yeah.
and in between them avenues, you can see the black stubs where the others have been taken out.
Yeah. Well, 40 years ago, well, if you say it 46 years ago, the Forestry Commission weren't doing that with that forest. So all those trees were just random.
Right.
They were all random places. And one of the biggest myths of that was the whole story of the UFO landing was that one of the possibilities was it was Orford Ness Lighthouse. Now, Orford Ness Lighthouse is no longer where it's gone. They've pulled it down.
Right.
I think it was about 8 or 9 years ago.
Okay.
But from the East Gate to the location where Orford Ness Lighthouse is, It's literally full of trees. But they're not only were they full of trees, but they were full of random trees. They didn't grow in lines. They were just random all over the place.
Yeah, like a
but
proper
the
forest.
distance was like a proper forest.
Yeah.
The distance between there and Orford Ness Lighthouse is near enough 7 miles. And it's downhill.
You'd never see it. You'd never see
You
it
would
there.
never have seen Orford Ness Lighthouse from the East Gate because there would have been too much in the way to, over the course of 7 miles, and you're basically at the top of a hill looking down towards the coast.
Yes, yeah.
Through the best part of a mile's worth of trees.
You couldn't do it. It's impossible.
You couldn't do it.
No.
So a lot of the myths and legends that were created about what caused it, I mean, they reckoned the SAS were playing a prank on the American troops. Because at the time, the Americans owned Bentwaters and RAF Woodbridge.
Yeah.
So they were running the sites at the time. So they reckoned that the SAS were playing a prank on them. Well, that was immediately thrown out because there was no SAS stationed in there for about 5 years before and 5 years after.
Oh, yeah.
So why would the SAS go to all the bother of going to Rendlesham Forest just to play a prank on someone?
I reckon all these places with nuclear facilities will have a book of excuses ready in case anything did happen. Or we'll try that one. If that doesn't work, we'll try this other one. We'll give him that excuse. We'll try another one. Because people will take it as true, won't they? Because they are the authorities.
That's what Operation Blue Book was about.
Yeah, exactly.
It was an agency specifically for going out and quashing what was seen or heard. Like with the Roswell incident, they were told no, it wasn't a UFO, it was a weather balloon. And then all of us, years down the line, it was like, oh, hang on a minute, the metals that were picked up from the crash site, you don't use in a weather balloon.
No.
Why is it that I can crumple it up and it can stretch back out to its original shape again? A weather balloon can't do that and doesn't do that, especially in the 1940s and 50s.
Yeah.
So although Operation Blue Book was in power, the agency behind it would deliberately go around and go to people that had witnessed UFOs and say, that's not what you saw. And in some cases went to extreme measures to keep them quiet.
See, and people
mysteriously...
They do go quiet though, don't they, Wayne? Because when people like that say, oh no, you didn't see that, this is what you see. What would they know? They weren't there, were they?
Exactly. They wouldn't know because they weren't there. But if they knew what was going on, that's all more the reason to try and cover it up.
Yeah.
If you're trying to suppress that information to the general public, you're going to go out of your way and do your best as possible to try and convince that person that's not what they saw, because it's against their best interests. And now we've got to the stage, like at the moment, we're now looking at disclosure. All this information is going to start coming out.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to come to a point where they've got no choice but to admit it. And a lot of places, even China now, are starting to release UFO footage.
The thing is, they've got no... See, I look at it like this. They've got no reason, really, or excuse to hide.
They do. They've got every reason.
Who does this stuff belong to, right? If it's not them, why don't they say we want to know what it is? So, why are they hiding the fact? They need to know. If it's not them, they need to know. Remember, when they had that weather balloon that came over from the Chinese a couple of years ago over America? Why did it take that long to bring it down?
They had to find out what it was first.
Yeah.
Michael, you're writing a lot in the chat. So, what's your thoughts, Michael?
Well, I'm finding it kind of interesting that the U.S., China, I think Japan has, and other countries are starting to hand out all the files that they have, in small chunks about the UFOs and everything. And I can't help wonder, how come the UK is not disclosing theirs and, shining light on what's going on over there? Because the way it looks is like I was pointing out, in US, we had in 42 the Battle of Los Angeles of the US versus a UFO. We had one of three Roswell incidents in 1947 and the Phoenix Lights in 1997. That's three famous ones right there.
Yeah.
What does the UK has? Rendlesham Forest in 1980. That's it. And so it seems like, the UFOs don't like the UK, but yet there are more crop circles in the UK than other countries. So it begs the question, why are they hiding the fact that they're there? Because everybody knows they're there. It's not a secret anymore. And so it's an interesting question of, what do they have to hide anymore? Because pretty much everybody's already talking about it and sharing it, and so yeah, I don't see the point of why they're holding back. And the interesting thing though about Rendlesham Forest that I think resonates with everyone is, one, it was British military who started the whole incident story because it was involving the military, but also there were symbols, and the gentleman wrote down the symbols and was like, hey, this is what I saw, this is what I interpreted it as, and it's become like this really famous experience. And yet it's like, if you ask anyone outside of the UK, they'll be like, there was UFO activity in England? What? Nobody knows about it because it's so tight-lipped, but yet, yeah, it just surprises me, how I didn't know about it until somebody mentioned it from the UK to me years ago. And then I was like, had to look it up, and I was like, oh my God, this is like a really cool experience. Why, aren't more people talking about this? Well, because they're focused on what's going on in their own country. And when I was doing a show earlier today that I just wrapped up and came on here, we were talking about, how the US, what we declassified and what it means, having these documents now declassified, and where do we go from here. And one thing that my guest and my guest was Constance Victoria Briggs, a great author and has a lot of great insight into this. We both were like, this is a global event now. This is not just US dealing with UFOs. Japan dealing with UFOs, China dealing with UFOs. It is global. And so I'm looking forward to all the countries that have these documents joining the global effort and the global unification. And we feel like this is the step forward of the quote Star Trek universe becoming a reality, is the whole world is uniting and sharing all their documents about the UFO phenomenon and taking the fear out of it, and dispelling, oh, they're coming to kill us, because we have documents that they've been here for decades. If they wanted to kill us, we would have been done a long time ago.
Exactly. You're right.
So how was that for you, Willow?
It's okay.
I left her speechless. That's a first.
No, I've actually got a spasm running through my spine right now, and I'm trying so hard not to thing with it. But I'm doing well. You've not heard me shout yet. But yeah, I think when it doesn't help when media gets involved because they make them out to be killing machines. Well, they turn out to be friendly, right? I think, you know, at the end of the day, people, right, they're hyping this up, right? But do you know when you start to hype something up and you hype it up so much, right? See, by the time it comes through, right, people are not going to be too shocked about it. So I don't know why the government just don't lay the cards on the table and just say this is the way it is. This is what's happened. This is what we have. Because see, at the end of the day, people already know the truth. They search through media, they search through, you know, Google, they listen to podcasts, they do their own research. People ain't dumb. You know, people have been seen flying saucers for how many years. You go to the Egyptians, you see hieroglyphics, you see where they have obviously UFO and hieroglyphics. How would the Egyptians know about aliens? You know what I mean? So it's just about, you know, we've heard this for years. There's going to be disclosure, and there's going to be disclosure. The last disclosure, look at Congress. It was pointless having Congress because, you know, they kept saying no comment. They were just wasting Congress's time. It was a complete waste of time. So why is this year so different? Why? And see, at the end of the day, even if aliens came, you know, people wouldn't be surprised anyway. Because at the end of the day, it's been happening for millions of years now. I just don't believe that. I just don't believe aliens would be as bad as what films would make it out to be. At the end of the day, as people say, they could live among us and we don't know. That's alright, guys. I know I'm fucking boring. You know?
The problem we have is that in the UK, we have had hundreds of sightings each year. There is also the UK government back in 1997 had a specific area for those UFO reports to be placed. After 2009, the UK government then shut down the UK UFO Report Centre after literally countless amounts of UFO sightings and UFO reports. So I think in the Liverpool area alone, there was something like 234 reported UFO sightings within the space of 10 years.
Yeah.
Which is quite a lot, really. There are apps out there that also you can send in reports of UFOs. But the problem is, and always will be, that a government loses control if they lose all credibility over whether UFOs exist or not.
Yes, they do.
It's all about control. And it goes back right the way through history, all to religion.
Yep.
For thousands of years, we have all been told God created us. We're the only things in the universe. End of story. So for thousands of years, everybody has been led along one route and one route only. Then all of a sudden, the possibility of there be beings from other almost said other countries, then other planets, a galaxy or in the universe, are visiting this planet. Those people that have been led down that road are all going to start asking questions. Well, hang on a minute. You told us we were the only things in the known universe because God created us. And now all of a sudden, little green men are turning up on our doorstep saying they come from millions of light years away.
Do you know?
And they lose all control.
They do.
I totally laugh, right? Because we have this concept, right? Total concept that aliens are green, they're grey, they're this, they're that. But how do we have definitive proof that they are actually these colours? That, that they're wee men. They could be tall men, they could be humans just like us. They could morph. They could. You just don't know. I could be standing at the bus stop beside one, and I wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
You just don't know. I just don't think, in some ways, that you listen to people's stories and accounts, right, and they always describe the grey man with the big eyes, or they're tiny. And then you watch things like Stargate. I'm going to use Stargate as prime example because I really just love the wee alien dude out of Stargate. He always makes me laugh. Especially when the kid snapped Jack. That was funny. But you have that concept there as well. A wee guy, and it's just like we really don't have definitive proof what these aliens come in. They come in different, maybe they come in different shapes, different sizes.
Oh, they do.
Have you ever thought that possibilities of over, maybe they're time travelers, maybe they're all from the future, different parts of the future, right? So have you ever thought that their bodies have been manipulated like they do? Just listen to this. All dogs come from wolves, and look how many different species of dogs and deformities they've got.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe they've deformed us that much. So these people from the future have come back and they're just checking on us to see how we are.
So
That I'm throwing that out there, question.
Here's a fact for you, Lynn. The Zeta Reticuli, which are a species of the Greys, they have been proven through DNA that they are humans of the future who genetically modified themselves to the point they
Right.
cannot recreate. So they are back in our time trying to get genetic coding so that they can reproduce and keep their species going. So that factor has already begun, and a lot of the species that are out there, the different groups like Andromedans and Palladian, they have pretty much every alien race out there, as we call them, has genetic ties to Earth.
What have they done
And
Halloween?
so
They've just got
they're all versions of us. They're like it's almost like we colonized and went out. And so there
Yeah.
that's why a lot of versions that you'll see like Nordics look human because they are part human.
Okay.
And so, there's a lot of races out there that look human because they are part human and they, are us and we are them. And yeah, it gets interesting when you start looking at it through that lens. But that is, so when people say, what does our future look like? Yeah, got a little tongue tied there. That is an example, of, as we're sitting there today talking about like genetically modifying kids, genetically modifying food, genetically modifying,
Yeah.
plant life, all of that, it
Yeah.
takes and it has an effect that nobody is thinking how long in the future will this modification hold before we no longer can reproduce. And so
Exactly.
that's where I feel like they're also coming back now is to stop the process and get us back onto a natural course and not a modified course.
Yeah. Because if you look
Okay.
at some of the programs that's been produced over this Rendlesham, and they go back to that guy, the American soldier, who started writing down, is it algebra, ones and zeros, and
Binary.
binary, and once they've found out what that meant, it comes up with the date 3080, is it, or 3018? Yeah, so maybe they are from the us been
I think,
modified.
I think part of that translation was the fact that they were human beings from the future.
Yeah,
Hadn't exactly gone right into detail as to why they came here in the first place. But I think obviously with
no,
different sightings and different experiences, it has come through that that's the reason why they're here.
they don't like nuclear. Maybe that's what they're trying. They keep going
No,
around these nuclear
they
bases.
absorb the. That's not that
Maybe.
they don't like nuclear
Oh,
because they use the power from it. Because that's
I
what
just
happened at Rendlesham Forest before the actual sighting. There was a sighting before the East Gate one, and that was over RAF Bentwaters, where an object was seen over one of the hangars where nuclear weapons were being stored. And a beam of light had been shone down into one of those hangars, and it was caught on the control tower radar. This object came in,
Wow.
stopped over the hangar, was there for a good time, and then this beam had gone down into the hangar, and then it zoomed off. So they may have sort of made those weapons useless, but what they've done is drained the energy and used it for themselves.
You do
I
realise
don't think it's so much to
Yeah,
do with the fact they
yeah.
don't
Well,
like
you
nuclear.
do see
I feel like they're coming
they want it
and
themselves.
Yeah,
it's not
they're using it for their own
necessarily.
use.
Yeah, I don't know that they want it for themselves. I think they have experienced, certain cataclysms in
Yeah,
their own world, and they see our world and they see, us heading in the same path, and they're like, they know what the devastation was like, how long it took them to
yeah.
recover. And so they're like, hey, we don't want you guys to have to experience this. So we're gonna neutralize what your path you're on so that you don't experience this, because it could be a fact of we have so many nuclear weapons and plants and scientific labs with it around, that it could be, for all we know, it could be a chain reaction of it blows up the earth, say, or creates the earth to be null and void of any life. And humanity, whether you're underground, above ground, in the water, underwater, you're gone. And so, it may be a simple fact of, they're trying to help keep humanity around. Although, in the current state we're in, I would question that logic, but it shows we have potential if they're willing to keep us around. So let's not waste that potential. But I don't think that they're stealing it for their own use. I think they're trying to save us from a path that we don't really understand that's in front of us.
Yeah, they're trying to make a point. Nuclear weapons aren't good, but nuclear energy is okay within reason.
Ourselves.
And when we've looked at it and gone, oh, look at that nuclear bomb was like really powerful, and that became a threat to the world. But then they realised that nuclear energy can be harnessed and used for good. The only problem is the governments of the world were like, well, we're still going to keep hold of what we've got because we have that as hand over everybody else. The Cold War was mainly a war of words and threats of, well, I've got nuclear weapons, and if you don't do this, you could have that. And that would be the end result. And everybody was scared of World War III because if someone pressed that button, everybody would be joining in. Oh.
Yeah, what just happened?
Nothing. I was just checking something.
Look at her with her finger over her mouth, like nothing.
I've done a little bit of searching, and the undertaken between 1997 and 2000, Project Condign concluded that all investigated sightings of unidentified aerial phenomena in the UK could be attributed to and misidentified, but explicable objects or poorly understood natural phenomena, such as Chinese lanterns. However, they didn't have Chinese lanterns in the first ever reported UFO sighting in the UK, which was back in 1113, when religious pilgrims in southwest England reported seeing a glowing, fire-belching dragon emerge from the sea and flew into the air and disappeared into the sky.
That was not me. I would just like to say.
Yes, it was.
That definitely wasn't me. Cheeky bastard. Jamie says.
Oh, go ahead.
Right, 2 minutes to read this. What about the theory that humans are not native to Earth? This slave species theory. According to some, we are the 7th generation of genetically modified people.
Yeah.
The previous 6 generations were deemed failures and reset. The created race are reportedly coming back to finish the experiment. Most of the UFO spots are attributed to the masters checking on their creations. What's your thought, guys?
I have read somewhere that mankind has had 7 previous mass extinctions. And so I think we are, or we have, our chemistry has been put on this planet on purpose.
Well, and you can also look at the Sumerian texts that show that we were created as a slave species to mine gold for
the Anunnaki.
The Anunnaki gods of Sumer. And certain factions broke off and rebelled and created mass amount of people. And, the Tower of Babel, we look at it as, a lot of people just write it off as, oh, they built this tower that was really tall that could reach the gods and they destroyed it. But in all honesty, why would that be a threat to them?
Why is Finn disappeared?
It's probably her Wi-Fi.
Disappeared again.
It's her Wi-Fi. But I mean, if you look at it, in common sense, if you're a god and somebody builds a building that, brings you close to you, that's not a threat, really. That and so the fact that it was destroyed and they said the cause, the aftermath of that is we all spoke different languages and were
Yeah.
colored different skin and created separation. To me, that says not that we were getting close to God, it's we were becoming God. We were rejoining our divinity, our divine right. And that's what they couldn't handle. And so they separated us and set us back and did, you could call it a reset. But there are many times in history to where, as mankind gets ready to unify, a force comes in and causes separation again. And so
Yeah.
you could argue that, yeah, there are resets. And yes, we are a slave species, but we're also, you know, you could almost say, look at the Matrix movies. When Neo meets the architect, he's like, you're the anomaly. Well, there's a lot of
Yeah,
anomalies now.
I've seen that one.
And
I
so,
have seen that one.
yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of people now waking up to, who they really are, what they really are. And the fact of, I'm sorry, we have more DNA strands than they tell us. And the fact that they call it just junk DNA makes me laugh because I'm like, as fine tuned as these machines are that we, house our souls in, or meat suits, if you want to use that term, I don't think they're going to sit there and go, hey, we got these extra strands of DNA, let's just throw them in there. It doesn't matter. It's extra parts. It's like, no, everything in our system is a purpose. And I also, I can't help but laugh over, like, you saying Project Connigan, they wrote it off as a Chinese lantern. I'm like, I felt bad enough, that Americans fell for the weather balloon explanation, but I give, the Air Force now more credit because a weather balloon is a lot better than a Chinese
Yeah.
lantern.
But I think the problem was with the Chinese lanterns, people would look out their window and see this little light floating across the rooftops, and they all sort of went, oh, what was that? And all of a sudden, there was this massive craze where people would get these paper tissue balloons with a little basket underneath and put a tea light in and let them off.
Right.
And at one point, the local fire brigades were telling people, please, if it's too windy, do not put the Chinese lanterns up because they're getting caught in trees and setting fire to them.
Yeah, that part, yes, I get. I'm talking about like triangular craft and going, oh, that was a Chinese lantern. I'm like, no, it wasn't. There's no way.
No.
Wayne, can you see the chat? Like, can you see the chat?
Like, I can now.
James is saying it all ties into the lost civilization theories.
That's what I wanted. It's fine.
Yeah.
Claimed about
it all
humans.
ties into the lost civilization theories, where it's claimed that humans have been here and been more technologically advanced than the establishment wants you to believe. There are some building techniques and structures that science cannot explain. Examples here would be the stones in Machu Picchu, the Nazca Line, Stonehenge, Easter Island structures that shouldn't have possibly been built without the aid of technology or techniques that just can't explain. So yeah, he's right. There's been a lot there. But
you tell me he's right. You give him a big.
Well, no, he is, because there is a lot of things out there that have been discovered that do not make sense, and science can't. Our science doesn't have an answer for it. So when you look at Machu Picchu, the actual stones that have been laid have been carved in such a way that it would take us hundreds of years to get it perfect that way. And they fit perfectly. Some guy even went there and said you couldn't even put a cigarette paper in between stones. They were that closely compacted together, and they're not using cement. Now,
And
whenever we build something, we're using if we use bricks, we're using bricks and mortar. So we're putting cement in with it. They've done it without that.
And you can't also miss the fact that Machu Picchu is built high above normal breathing levels for humans, and yet all these massive structures are built with huge stones that today, if we were to attempt to build it, half of the workforce would probably collapse halfway up the mountain from lack of oxygen and strain. But also, it's kind of interesting, pointing out Stonehenge, that, being in the UK. In July, I have on my show Dennis Stone coming on, and he is the caretaker of America's Stonehenge. And so that, raises an interesting question of why is Stonehenge in multiple places in the US and in the UK? What purpose do they serve, and why are they all in a specific line? It's not just randomly placed, which is interesting because one, these stones had to be quarried and designed, and two, stacked before cranes existed. And even cranes today, if they try to lift the stone that size, will tip over because they are not designed for that weight capacity. And so, yet, here they are. And so that's the interesting question, is it's not necessarily what are they for, it's how were they actually made, because these people are supposed to be primitive and yet build structures we can't build today. That doesn't add up. So they're, definitely something different that they had back then that we lost.
Jamie says in 2008, the Vatican scientists changed their stance on alien life and openly came out and said it was plausible that life on other planets exists, making others feel that they were laying the groundwork for what people felt would be announcement from the Catholic Church.
Actually, the Vatican has stated that alien life does exist. Now, they have changed their stance and made the announcement that aliens do exist, and one pope even made the announcement and made the joke, when they come, to Earth, we'll baptize them into faith. And so, yeah, the Vatican, knows that there are alien lives and alien beings, and
they've known for a long time. They've known for a long time because there's stuff in the vaults there that have come from off-world. They've known about it for a long time. It was. I can't remember which pope it was now, but it was a few years ago. The pope had called all his high-ranking cardinals, etc., into the Vatican City, and they all sat down for something like a week and discussed how they were going to go about letting all the people know about beings from other worlds. So, we've known about it they've known about it for ages. And just recently, there was a lot of high-ranking ministers within the church in America were also taken to the Pentagon, where they were told the same thing.
Hey, Terry.
Hey, Terry.
Well, funny enough, fuck.
Hey, you gotta buy a drink first.
I really need a drink. I really need a strong one. That's what I was saying to Lynn. In July, honestly, I will be drinking the bar dry.
I can't hear. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
hear you.
I can hear you.
I can't. I am. It's so low. I can't get the sound up on it.
Right. What was I going to say?
I can't get it to go.
Wayne,
Oh,
Wayne.
Yeah.
So
that's
what I think is interesting, we talk about the governments disclosing their documents and everything, but I wonder how soon it'll be that all the governments surround the Vatican and are like, you're releasing what's in your vaults. You're disclosing what you have filed away, because there are a lot of rumors that, like, a lot of the Library of Alexandria that we thought was destroyed is sitting in the vaults of the Vatican. And a lot of books that have been thought lost to history that would rewrite religions for a lot of people are in the vault of the Vatican. And so I'm wondering who and how
Maureen,
that vault
if
is
I
going to
could get
get
a word
cracked
in
open.
edgeways tonight, I'd be able to cause chaos, but the bastards have left me out, so I can't cause chaos tonight. So the good. Sorry, Michael. Carry on.
Oh, well, thanks to Amazon Energy, I picked up the slack for you. Shameless plug there. Trying to get
Well,
sponsored.
I'll tell you what, honey.
Well, we're actually.
I'll tell you what, honey.
I think in reply to Noreen, we have gone off topic.
Yeah. We were supposed to be talking about Rendlesham
well-
Forest, and now we're talking about disclosure and the Vatican
The
vaults
Vatican-
and
Well, you
civilization.
can be the boss tonight. You're on top of me, right? So you can watch down on me. What was it I was going to say to Wayne?
I don't know.
I think Noreen's been watching
I
a
don't-
different show, because we have definitely gone down the rabbit hole of chaos.
No unusual chaos where we talk about Tom's cock and everything
Yeah.
else, but that's for a different show. And cryptids.
Yeah.
If you look at some of the structures around the world, we are told that people around the world, this is Jamie, in an age where intercontinental travel was impossible. My God, I'm getting the words out tonight. In the space of like a couple 800 years, don't smash it now, Louise. Non-connected people all decided they wanted to build pyramid-shaped structures. What's even more suspicious is like the Akanaki, what? Can't remember the name of the Mexican
Angkor
ones,
Wat.
the Great Pyramid.
Oh, you talking about the Anunnaki or Angkor Wat?
Oh,
Angkor Wat.
Angkor Wat
What's
is
even
in
more
Thailand,
suspicious is the
Cambodia.
like of Angkor Wat.
thank you very much, sweetheart.
I mean,
See, a
yes.
lovely brain does that too.
Again, he's right, but that, in a sense, it's basically all about the pyramids in Mexico, Angkor Wat, the Egyptian pyramids. They're all linked, and all of the pyramids are all roughly the same angles, the same dimensions. They all point to celestial bodies. But the thing is, as well, is if you look at the Tower of Babel, that is supposedly where God turned around and went, I'm not having that, and scattered everybody around the globe. Now, by that point, that would then enable them people to be able to, that would then lead credence to that. So,
Here's an interesting thing too, that as we're talking about pyramids being in Bosnia, in China, Japan, they're in what's that country?
Antarctica as well.
Obnovich would be so upset that I mess this up because they got pyramids older than Egypt. It's in Europe. It's like if my mind just went blank on it.
Isn't there one in Romania?
I think it's close to Romania, but it's also, all over the world. But I have discovered in America, in a town near St. Louis, one of our states, there were pyramids there that were dismantled because farmers needed the land for crops.
Oh,
And so they destroyed all records of the pyramids being there. And it's only recent that they started to notice and note documentation of, yeah, there were pyramids in America even. And so it does beg a question, this is a global phenomenon. We did not have internet back then, so how could we have, pyramids all over the world? And granted, we have step versus flat faced versus, different types of pyramids, but it's the fact they're all pyramids. Bosnia, that's where it is. It just came to me. Bosnia.
Oh, God's sake, why don't you say, Louise? Where's that word again? Don't you think maybe the Vatican is more powerful than the governments? Yes, I do believe that the Vatican is more powerful than the governments, to be honest, with a lot of things.
So here's a fact for you
That's
with the Vatican. If you travel in Rome and you say anything about the Vatican they don't like, you can be disappeared and your State Department cannot get you back. You are erased from history. That's the power the Vatican has right now that they've been given. And so that's why I think a lot of people are working on dismantling that power structure over there, because that that's not a good system to have anymore of, say something we don't like and we'll erase you from existence. Not a cool way to live.
And I think if they were to turn up in their ships and sort of say, hello, we're here, nice to meet you, there is going to be so many issues with all religions around the world, and they lose that control. So by trying to sort of avoid losing that control, they're going to go by whatever means necessary to try and keep what power they have.
yes.
And I think that's one reason why a lot of governments still to this day will not release information about UFOs, because they don't want to lose the control and the power over the people.
Yeah.
right. When
And,
go
and
for it,
financial as well.
go for it with the comment.
Right, sorry.
I said,
Go for it.
Right,
with
the recent thing showing the lack of credibility of the teaching establishment's timeline is the existence of Göbekli Tepe and now its older sister, Karahan Tepe, built at a minimum of 20,000 years before humans were supposed to be cave-dwelling troglodytes.
yeah.
And this is the thing. I remember seeing something the other day regards to there was crumbs. Oh yeah, there it is. There was the Barabar caves in Bihar, India. Now they were actually made or carved out of solid granite, and they have got such a high finish to them. They're almost like mirror edges. But even using current technology, they would not be able to create the same, just the same walls of these two caves. And they are literally, they've sort of gone over them as much as possible. The granite walls are polished to such a flawless mirror-like finish that they actually reflect light. The inner rooms are symmetrical and cut with precision that modern historians consider a marvel of ancient engineering. The caves feature unique acoustic properties, and scientists have noted that the natural resonant frequencies of some of the chambers create a humming or a booming resonance. One of the most famous of those caves features an elaborately carved arched doorway shaped to imitate ancient timber architecture, complete with carvings of elephants and zebras. So while originally used by the ascetic Jivaki sect, the caves bear dedicatory inscriptions from Emperor Ashoka and his grandson Dasharatha Moira. So, to actually have these buildings that are of such fine finish thousands of years before we were even able to cut granite.
Yeah, I mean, we have caves here in America that have Egyptian writing. We have
You do.
Roman writing. And so the world is not the story we've been told. That, America is not a new country. It's been around since BC, known about. It's just history kind of didn't need us, so we were erased technically for a while and then accidentally rediscovered. I don't think so, but that's what they tell us by Columbus. And lo and behold, we're now back on the maps and people, pay attention now. But one of the things that, too, is interesting to look at, when we say, technology is not as advanced today as in the past is we talked about the Nazca lines for a second, but let's go back and actually take a look at these. One, there are creatures that are depicted in the Nazca lines that are not in South America. How did they know about those and know what they look like? Two, you have an astronaut. How did they know about space back then? And three, the stones are placed in such a way that they make straight lines. So how did they make the stones all the same width and be able to line them up to a straight line? And four, we can't design anything today that is only visible from above. We don't have that ability now, but yet that's exactly what happened in Nazca. And there's actually, I found out, I think it was last year or the year before, through a guest of mine, there is a glyph that looks like a Nazca line further down in Chile that is an arrow that points to Nazca.
That's interesting. Yeah.
And so why is there an arrow now, been discovered that's the same as the Nazca lines pointing to Nazca? And the thing is if you follow the trajectory of the arrow, it kind of connects to Easter Island. And so it's like, so what's up with Easter Island? Well, there's an island on the other side of the ocean that has statues that look like the Moai staring back at them. So how did these two cultures with an ocean apart have statues staring at each other? And lo and behold, they're full body on Easter Island. We didn't even know that until recently.
Yeah, they've dug them out, haven't they?
Welcome in, OG. Right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here for tonight because I can feel my eyes dropping. Why am I getting blocked out here by wedgies? Piss off. That's it. I'm back, guys. So obviously
how was that
tomorrow
for a rabbit
night,
hole of chaos?
Well, actually, usually we have a lot more chaos, but we've actually been really good tonight. So I'm really looking forward to Rendlesham. Though I'll need to watch it in case there's a wee dog, because I'm a sucker for animals. So if a wee dog runs out in front of me, I'm prone to pick it up and clap it.
Well, there'll be plenty of them during the day because a lot of dog walkers go in Rendlesham Forest.
Aye, but at night time, if one jumps out in front
None.
of me, I'll be looking. Aye, but can you imagine?
To be
I'll
honest,
forget that.
if at night time a dog jumps out in front of you, you're going to be running the opposite direction.
Yeah,
No.
you are.
Of
Jet
course-
black.
It will scare the living day if a fox, if a dog or a fox or a
honey.
muntjac deer jumped out in front of you, you'd scream and run them off.
Bet you wouldn't.
Oh,
Bet you
but
wouldn't.
also,
I'm back there again on Saturday with
Oh,
some people.
you're from Glasgow. Oh, that's cool. Whereabouts in Glasgow?
well, also though, remember, Willow, when you go in a forest, it's a dog-eat-dog world.
Yeah.
Well, can I honestly just say, if there's any wee animals that pop out and I go missing, it's always been a pleasure to work with you guys. And I'll tell you when I come back how fun it was in the spaceship.
And also, Willow, remember, in a forest, if you meet a two-legged dog creature, whether it's dogman or werewolf or whatever, turn and go the other way.
Yeah.
Take
Unless
a
it
selfie,
talks
bit
like
first.
Kenneth Williams.
Aye. If it goes, oh, matron, Partick. Oh, well, welcome in, pal. Welcome in.
Actually, be very afraid if it calls you by name, too.
Ooh,
If it calls me by name, I'll be saying fuck this and picking Wayne up and running with him.
All right, that'll save me running.
He can get in my back and I'll carry Lynn under my. Well, she's tiny, so I can carry her and lift her up underneath my arm.
I'm just waiting for the werewolves in Rendlesham Forest to start going, Willow! Willow!
I think she wants to be more worried about me having my Aztec death whistle. Because if I bring that along, everybody's going to get scared.
Listen, I will need you by my hand, or by there, by all the time. So just you know that I will be clinging to your ass at Rendlesham. But you're going to be a handcuff.
I will just give you a warning. I have said to a certain scarecrow that if you're about, come over to Rendlesham Forest, so you might end up grabbing his ass instead.
Don't you threaten me with a good time.
All I can say is, Willow, if you're going to grab somebody by the butt, make sure they have pockets first.
If I'm going to grab empty by the butt, I better make sure it's make sure at least it's the right fucking butt.
There's a reason I say make sure it has pockets. Because humans wear pants with pockets. Unless they're in sweatpants, in which case
we wear trousers. We don't wear pants. Pants are undergarments to us.
Tony says when I use
you knew what I meant, Wayne.
July. Well, all I can say is I hope it's no back to front.
I just noticed something, right? We've been on live now for like an hour and 24 minutes, and I've just noticed I look like Holly from Red Dwarf.
You do, actually.
I'm just a floating head.
You've just noticed that. I could have told you that way back at the beginning.
Hello,
I've been enjoying it, actually. I've been thinking it's funny as all get out.
Right, guys, I am going to go because Wayne has been a slave master to me this week. He's been a slave driver to me this week. He's been like, right, you. So I am going to go. At least you look like Holly Not
Not
really.
really.
But guys,
There was a
yous
reactor
all
leak.
stay safe tomorrow. Tomorrow night we will be talking about
Dave.
what are we talking about? Out of body experiences and astral projection.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, what?
So that was it. The Vatican. We need to do the Vatican again.
Yeah.
Do a second part of the Vatican.
I haven't done the Vatican yet.
Yes.
I don't know what you're talking about doing it again.
Oh, it's good.
That seems like a little
Yeah.
harsh to
Well,
me.
okay. Well, you could join us in the conspiracies of the Vatican, part 2.
Part 2.
Well, I did it that way. I was being nice, but since you're a dick, I'll do it that way.
No, you totally missed the joke of it. Is in America, well, we instead of saying part 2, we say part 2 to try and sound French.
Oh.
We're like deux because it sounds more cool.
Oh right. Okay.
Oh,
Gonna
I'm
say, why
sorry,
would you want
sweetheart. I'll take everything back. I say, please come back tomorrow
Here's
night.
your 2.
Wayne,
Yes.
That's
What's
not
up,
Wayne.
dudes?
what's up, dude?
Wayne
As
has
Hollywood
not
say,
been here.
as Hollywood say, what's happening, dudes?
Yeah.
What's happening, dudes? Right, guys, we will catch you tomorrow night. So everybody have a good night. And stay safe. And
Where's the
we'll
fun in
catch you
that?
then.